All right. We're live. Let me get things set up here really quick. I always do these short notice live streams. Apologize for that. I do need to set up a better way to do these so that way people are more informed and they can show up. We'll see how many people show up tonight. But I wanted to do a quick live stream just to get some thoughts out there right now because I don't have time to make a bunch of videos. This is going to be a short live stream anyways. So there we go. I'm on. Okay. See if anybody shows up here. All right. If you're there, leave a comment. Type something in the chat. We'll get going here in just a second. I just went live. So just going to wait just a second. Give some people some time because, again, I know that I do these real, just like randomly. Send out a tweet. Say, hey, I'm going live. And then, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, if you're there, send a chat and make sure the chat's working. Do a testing. No, I don't want to do a testing. I want to do a smiley face. Put that in the chat. See if that goes. All right. Again, if you're just showing up, put something in the chat so I can make sure that this thing's working. It looks like there's some people in here. And if you're just showing up, I'm going to start here in just a second. I'm looking at the Raven coin chart first. It's going to be a quick live stream. I'm going to try and keep... My live streams usually go for 2.5 hours. I think I got the last one down to 1 hour and 45 minutes. This one, I'm going to try and keep it around 30 to 45 minutes if I can. So... Nope, nobody wants to leave a chat. Shoot, I hope it's working then. Okay. I'm going to wait 30 more seconds. I'm going to take a drink here. Wait 30 more seconds. Okay. Yeah, so if you want some coins looked at, put them in real quick in the chat. Because like I said, it's going to be a lot shorter live stream, I hope anyways. Well, I don't hope because it'd be kind of cool to go longer, but I got a lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to try and keep it a little shorter. Okay. Boy. See, now I'm wondering if the chat is working because nobody's left anything there, but it shows that I've had some people coming in here. So again, just leave a smiley face. Something like that if you are still in here. Say hello. Okay. Let's see. Everything looks good. Going to give you the real reason why I'm going live instead of doing videos is I did it again. I made 4 videos without my mic on. Oh, and is my mic on? Yeah, that's another thing. Shoot, let me double check that. Gosh dang, man, I am so bad with this stuff. It looks like my mic's on. So we're just going to go with that unless somebody says something otherwise. Maybe if I start moving around in here. Anyway, for anybody who's watching this later, sorry for these terrible intros to these live streams. I will eventually get better at this. But, right, I'm going to get going. It's been about 30 seconds. So, Raven coin. And again, if you do jump in here, quickly leave your coins in the chat there to let me know what you want to look at. That way I can, because this is going to be a shorter live stream, I think. So, Raven coin is, hey, there we go. Hey, there we go. Clavins. Hello. Doing good on liquidity. Okay, we'll take a look at that in here in just a second. I got a couple coins I want to look at first. I'm going to do Raven coin, Bitcoin, Jasmy. Yeah, we'll take a look at FET, and I'll take a look at liquidity. I think that's what that is, LQTY. But Ravencoin, Bitcoin, and Jasmy are the ones that I definitely want to do, because those are the ones I made a video on, and so stupid, man. I didn't have my mic on again. I wonder how many other YouTubers do that, or if it's just me. This is the second time I've made videos, went to go upload them, and realized that there was no voice behind what was happening, and so I said, "Oh, forget it. I'm just going to go live." Anyway, okay, so Ravencoin, we've been in this triangle. One thing that I do have to say that is concerning is if we cannot reach this blue line up here, that is just not good for Ravencoin. If we just keep going sideways out of here and just kind of get out of this triangle like this, that's not a good sign. That just means more sideways action is most likely coming, and whatever price targets I had for Ravencoin is definitely not happening in the shorter, even longer term probably. So lots of red today, lots of red lately. I'm going to zoom in to kind of, oh, wait a minute. On the weekly time frame, Ravencoin is holding above the 50 line on the RSI and the 0 line on the Cypher B, which is good. But we are hitting that resistance I talked about earlier. So I don't know if anybody's heard what I talked about, but we have this resistance right here on the RSI. It's where we kind of broke down from the ETH merge, and we were getting above it at one point, but obviously we didn't break above it, and we now below it. So once we break above this resistance here, I think that's going to really make a difference. On the lower time frames, going down to the daily, we're still in this broadening wedge here. And if you're not following me on Twitter, link will be down below in the description. I've been pointing a lot of stuff on Twitter lately since I haven't made a video lately. But I do see some more downside coming. And actually, let me go to the 12 hour. So I had this ABC correction idea. Actually, my B was up here. I thought we might come back to retest. We still might, but I do think that we are coming back down. Probably down to the 786. You can see that we were holding the 618 for a few days here. This is the 12-hour time frame. So we were holding the 618 for a few days. We're now breaking below it. Now we still have 5 hours and 16 minutes to go on this 12-hour. So we could just, this could be a wick again like these ones. But I don't know. If we close a candle beneath the 618 here, let's see if we've done it on the 4-hour yet. So yeah, we were below it already, holding that 200. And right now, again, we're holding the 200. But if we break below that, obviously the 786 would be my next target, which is where the C wave would actually, in my opinion, to run. Let's go back to the 12-hour. Was a 5 wave, and we did complete it. So we had first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, and now we're forming our ABC right now. And so once the ABC is finished, then I think that actually is perfect, because the ABC will finish up. You can see on the 12-hour that the Cypher B is looking like it's resetting. We're holding above the 40 line on the RSI, which is good. And if we can get that reset and still get a higher low here and not retouch this previous support over here for this broadening wedge, the next move is the next breakout. So it's going to be the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's just say we do, I don't know, something like, I'm just going to draw these super random, something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get out of there like that. So that'd be, in my opinion, the next move for Ravencoin. So there's Ravencoin, and since nobody else left any coins, I'll get to Bitcoin and Jasmy here in a second. I'm going to do what you got there, Clavins, since you're always here. Appreciate you always watching. And I really hope I'm saying your name right. But you're always here. Really appreciate it. So, FET. Let's go down to FET really quick. Let's see here. Here we go. Look at that. That is like, I like this. The more sideways we go, and it can catch in the 200s, can catch up. I'm on the 12-hour time frame here. That's good news, I think, for this. And it's actually forming, if you're a pattern person, you've got your triangle pattern forming here, and we're almost to a breakout target. Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm not very good at reading names, I guess. So anyway, but so thanks for always being here. Appreciate it. So you got a little triangle pattern going on here, and so possible breakout to the upside, but also if it does break down, you know, that looks like it's going right to that 200. Yep, right down to that 200 EMA there for the breakdown target. So, and that actually wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, this thing just skyrocketed. Fetch just skyrocketed. So, I mean, coming back down to retest at least the 12-hour 200 EMA wouldn't be a bad thing. Let's go to the daily really quick. And again, see how far we are, fetches from the 200 here. I mean, these things usually don't get too far from the EMAs before they get, you know, pulled back. And so I could totally see this, you know, breaking down. It looks like it tried to break out right here. And then there's a lot of resistance here. You can see with these higher wicks. Every time it tries to make a move, it gets a higher wick. And let's zoom out to the weekly. So yeah, we did. So again, we hit the 786. Look at this. This is just such a massive move. If this just goes sideways above the 618, that's the most bullish thing this thing can do right now, I think. Because also you can see that we're about to print a red dot here on the Cypher B. It's super overbought. I mean, we're super overbought still on the weekly time frame for FET, and honestly, this could either be the end of this run because we're so overbought on the weekly time frame, or there's going to be, I can imagine a really big correction happening here. And actually, I mean, I don't know, you can see kind of a shoulder here, a head right here. Oops. You know, a head right here. Now, if we do get that correction like I'm talking about, are we going to create another shoulder here where it comes down? That big correction I'm talking about, because it looks like it really wants to correct. Creates that other shoulder right there, and then you get a breakout. And I mean, honestly, for this token particularly, I mean, this could totally happen. You know, then your price target, you're looking at a $3.62, and I could totally see that happening for fetch. So, I mean, I think there's a correction coming. It looks like it wants to form this inverse head and shoulders, this very large one. Price target seems like it could be accurate. Let's actually do a fib here. Let me take this other one off. And let's just see a price target fib. See if we run into anything here. Let's also do that because I want to try. Yeah, and you know what? I could actually see this thing going up to $4.78 on that breakout. So, I mean, if you weren't conservative to the body candles on this price target right here, and you did it from the wick, look where that wick takes you. It takes you right up to the 4236. If you don't see what I'm talking about, let me zoom in. I was putting my price target conservative. Oops. Come on. Down to the body candle right here. But if you are not conservative and you put it to the wick right there, then that takes you perfectly up to the price target of the 4236. So I do believe that, and for this token particularly, I do think that is possible. But the shorter term, I mean, I still think that this thing could correct. Now, it doesn't have to. This is just speculation, obviously, that we're, you know, this head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders is complete speculation, but I do think it's going to correct, which would then form that inverse head and shoulders possibly. But back to this could just break above and go up, and the price target would be, if this is a triangle pattern, then it breaks out of it. You know, then that brings you up to that 75-cent area, probably. So let's go and look at your other one before I go to Bitcoin and Jasmy. I'm going to do MEX. Let's see. Oh, shoot. It just says my recording software disconnected. Reconnected. Hey, Clavins, can you let me know if I'm still live? I just got a notice saying my thing disconnected. Anybody there? Or anybody tell me I'm still? Okay. Okay, I'm good. Okay, yeah, I just got a notice saying my stream disconnected, so cool. Okay, so yeah, and again, Luis, if you haven't, if you missed what I said, I'm going to try and keep this a little shorter. I'm going on 15 and a half minutes right now. I usually do about 2.5 hours, but I got stuff to do tonight, so we'll see. I'm shooting for 30 to 45 minutes, but if we're having fun, maybe we'll do a little longer. Anyway, so Fetch looking good. I do think that there is a correction, a big correction coming. But if this does break back above 75 cents, and what were we doing? We were doing liquidity. Let me zoom out on this. I don't even know if we've looked. Oh, my word. Yeah, so this one has already had a massive pump. Still room to get to that all-time high there at 166 on the RSI. And so, yeah, you can see that we're getting rejected right off that 786 right now. Is where it's getting hit. Let's go to the daily. I mean, this thing's super overbought here, but the RSI still looks good. So the Cypher B, I mean, it could still roll, on top like that for a while. RSI, actually, there's still plenty of room. I could see this thing still coming up and at least getting to $1.65, getting to that new all-time high. So let's go to a shorter time frame here, smaller. And it looks like pull a fib from the bottom here to this top, and let me change you to that. So yeah, this thing's still fairly bullish. You can see that it came down and touched the 382 and pulled a new high, a higher high off of that. So that tells me that there is still some room to move to the upside. Getting a fib to bounce off the 382 on the shorter term is usually fairly bullish still. I mean, if it comes down to the 786, that's like your last line of support there for a bullish move to the upside. And usually when it comes down to the 786, that's when you start to get a lower high. So we've already created a higher high here. So on the lower time frame, we got the nice support off the 382. I keep saying we. I need to stop doing that. I don't have nothing to do with liquidity. But we are getting a rejection right here. So there is obviously some kind of resistance, but the 1 hour, even going down to the 1 hour, so we did, I'll just talk. The green dot here came in, we passed the zero line, we did get support again off that 50 on the RSI and continuing to the upside, and there's so much room to the upside on the RSI here. And the volume is starting to come in again. You can see a larger green volume bar coming in there, but again, this high wick rejection is telling me that this might take a little bit longer, but that also looks like it's forming some kind of on the lower time frame, some kind of a cup and handle pattern right here. So you got your cup and you got your handle, and then if that is the case and you get this breakout, let's just do conservative breakout. That breaks us up to around $1.55, but again, I still think that this thing's gonna at least get to its high there. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like to me. I don't know how soon it'll happen, if it happens, but this looks like it's going to get at least to its, and that's what all the other coins did. So if you followed any of the other coins that created a new all-time high this year, they all came up and they hit it. And I think Aptos broke through it and had a lot higher move. Optimism broke through it and then kind of didn't get too much higher, but then fell down. But everything created a new all-time high when it got this close to it. So I'd expect the same thing from this. Let me see if I see anything else on the higher time frames here. No, I don't. So just got to break through that 786 right there. That's pretty much it for that one. Let me go up and I'm going to look at Jasmy really quick. Is this the right one? Yeah. Okay, so Jasmy is still doing what I'd been talking about for a while. Heavy rejections here off that 382. Let me go down to the only thing that was concerning for me for Jasmy was the RSI right here is right at resistance. So you can see that we had resistance back here for Jasmy. Then it came up and it got resistance right here. Let me zoom in. And so it's actually looking good though, because we hit it once, broke through it the second time, then came back down. So my assumption is the third time we go back up there, it's going to break through. Jasmy will break through that RSI resistance on the third attempt. which I've been saying that Jasmy is probably going to go sideways, forming some kind of a pattern here for a little while before it gets a breakthrough, because there was so much support here for Jasmy back in this area. And the 382 seems like a very strong resistance right here. So let's go down the 12 hour. And something I had seen, which I don't know if it's going to play out, I actually don't think it's going to play out, is this falling wedge right here. I don't think that it's going to play out, but if it does, then, you know, the next target will bring us back up to the highs, somewhere right in here around that 007 to 008 area. But I kind of think that this is not going to work, and it's going to come back down to the 0055 area. That's just my thought for Jasmy, and I kind of said that at the beginning when we were over here. I said that I mean, and then we did find support over here, but I mean, now it might actually come down to it, is I did say that I thought we were coming back down to retest these areas down here, which just gives it time for everything to reset. You can see that the 12 hour is totally reset on both the RSI and the Cypher B. The daily, though, is the problem. No, it's not. That must have been another coin I'm thinking of. So we've crossed the zero line on the daily, so that's good. We're getting a reset on the RSI, on the Cypher B. The RSI still looks fantastic on the daily. We're above 40, almost even above 50. The weekly, oh, we just looked at that. So yeah, everything on Jasmy looks like it wants to continue. If we get a lower wave here, what they call it is a trigger wave. And so you've got this larger wave right here. You create a lower wave right here on the Cypher B. Something like that. You get your green dot right there, and now you formed this lower wave here, which is what they call a trigger wave, and then that usually shoots you up. And actually, I mean, maybe this falling wedge does play out. I just feel like it's got to come down and retest this 0055 area. I don't know why I'm stuck on that, but I just feel like it has to get down there. And so you can see that it attempted to break down from here and then failed. And obviously my line is, I mean, I guess if we were down to the 12 hour again, yeah, that's why I have that line there. It's because the wick. So, I mean, for Jasmy, I mean, you got two scenarios here. I mean, you could break up out of this, or else I do think we are coming back down to the 0055. I don't think we're going to break too much further below that, unless Bitcoin just has a massive crash. And the reason why I say that is on the 12 hour, you can see all this resistance we had here now going to be support. And then also you've got the 212 hour EMA right there. So there's a lot of support right in that area. But I think Jasmy's looking pretty good. And seeing the 008 area in the shorter term, probably in the next few weeks, I could see that happening. And then let's go to Bitcoin really quick. And again, if you got some other coins you want to look at, leave them in the chat there. And also, I guess I'm supposed to tell everybody to like the video. So if you haven't liked the video, please do like the video. Looks like I got 1 like. I know there's 2 of you in there. So anyway, so Bitcoin, if you missed my Bitcoin video, I'll go over kind of what I was talking about here. Bitcoin, everybody's been talking about this, where we're following something very similar to 2019, 2018. But let me go out to the weekly here. So thanks, Luis. So we've been following this support line for quite a while. I even pulled it all the way back to 2017. We've been finding support there. And so as you can see in 2018, when we had that big run, and I know people have been talking about this, but I do think that this might be playing out. We had the double bottom here on the support, had the big breakout, and then we formed this kind of wedge. Let me zoom into the 12 hour actually. I gotta go all the way over there. So we had this flag, this wedge, whatever you want to call it, forming right here. And you can see that we came down. We had the big crash, and then we had the breakout up back to the upside. And then we had another fall before the actual move. This one held the 236 fib on this move, but we're obviously beneath that right now. So let's go to current time here. And oh no, actually let me move my fib here. So from this bottom right here to the top, instead of holding the 236, what we did back then, we're actually holding the 618 on the 12 hour so far. We do have that trigger wave forming right here. So there is hope that we do get a big move to the upside here. So you can see that we've got the lower wave right there. And holding that 618, I do kind of think that this might come back down to, I mean, if we're going to continue on a bullish move here, this would be a double bottom forming. So on the lower time frame, on the 4 hour, I could see us coming even back down to test that 618, or even coming back down to the 786 here around 23,000, maybe even a little bit lower to retest that 200 EMA on the 4 hour time frame. You can see that we did the same thing over here. This one actually went lower than this other low right here. So, I mean, that could even happen too. But so we did kind of the same move right here where we had that double bottom form and then a big move to the upside. I'm kind of looking for that to happen for Bitcoin, is to get that double bottom forming. We might have already completed it with this wick right here. It just doesn't look like it to me. It looks like it wants to go a little bit further, maybe down to that 786, and then push on to the upside. And finally, I do think that the next time we reach this area up here, because we, in order to touch this resistance line, we will be above that $25,000 area cleanly. I think that's when we're going to break out and we're going to get the move to the upside for Bitcoin out of this resistance and break up, retest it, hopefully find it as support, and then continue on to our next resistance line, which is right here around the $27,100 area. And that's kind of what I see for Bitcoin for the future right now, unless something crazy happens, some kind of regulation. We do still have some major support down here around the $22,000 area. So that would be, if we were to fall, that would be where I'm looking, is around the $22,000 area, because we've got the 236 fib, the macro fib here where the green starts, and we also have the previous support line right here. But again, this is looking like it did back in 2018, where we created that, you know, higher low right inside this flag wedge, whatever, broadening wedge, whatever you want to call it. And so we had this higher low formed, and then we continued on to the upside and had a big move. Now, for Bitcoin, I mean, I'm looking at $38,500 for my target for I'm going to say 2023. It's hard to tell time, but I think in 2023, I think it's possible, as long as, I mean, we obviously have to break above this 200 weekly EMA. That's the most difficult part, is getting above that, which, you know, you're not going to do it on the first try, and we got rejected off of that twice now. So, but I do think once we break above that, we could have a clean shot. You can see that there's really nothing here, except for maybe back here on the, I mean, the 0.5 has this. If I pulled my fib over, you can see that 0.5 had support over here, and then you had, maybe it didn't even reach it there. I mean, there's not really much going on. I think it's going to be a pretty quick. I do think we're going to find resistance at that 382, but I think that we're going to go up to the 0.5 is where the main resistance is going to be, and that's at the 32.7 area. But anyway, my price target for 2023 is that 38.5, and then we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. Is this really going to be a 2018, 2019 scenario where we go up? And actually, even in 2018, 2019, they had a wick, I think, come up to the 786, but then it got rejected, come back down to find support again at this level, which would be right around that $22,000 area. Get our double bottom out of there, and then and then the bull run starts in 2024, 2025, which is kind of what I was thinking, unless something changes. If you're on the cycles, you know, the Bitcoin cycles, that would be the most likely scenario. If we don't follow the halving cycles, then this could just break through and continue onto the upside right now. But if you are following the cycles, I think we are going to come back down after the rejection off that 618, come back down, and then the bull run starts in 2024, 2025, something like that. Let's see. Anything else anybody wants to look at? Let's see. Otherwise, I'm going to pull up a couple other coins here. I want to look at ICP. I haven't looked at this in a few days here, so let's see. Okay, I think that I put, yeah. These are just some thoughts I had. ICP, I think, is in an ABC correction right now, although the B hasn't even started yet. I mean, then that would actually make the C come all the way back down here. So I don't know. In my last ICP video, I talked about how I'd really like to see, not that one, daily. Yeah, I really wanted ICP to hold above the 200 daily EMA, which it obviously didn't do that. Came back up, retested it as resistance here, and it does look like it wants to possibly come further down. Everything looks solid on the, I mean, the RSI got fully reset. We're getting a reset on the Cypher B here. And then this one's hard to tell back to just these two, you know, for any kind of support, which I don't know that that's very strong either. I think the fibs are stronger than that. So as long as, I mean, I guess I'd really like to hold the 0.5 fib here, the macro one at the $5.79 level. But as far as we've gotten right here for an ABC correction, I mean, that would actually, in my opinion, bring us back down to the $5.16 level. Because I don't see a B coming out of this thing yet. But anyway, it's not looking, I don't think it's looking too great for ICP right now. We do have a resistance. I guess we did break above that. I don't really like these resistance lines. I guess the next thing to look for would be a fib retracement here. Oh, and my B line actually just went right to that 618. I didn't even. Anyway, so the fib retracement coming back to the 618 possibly. So if we can break through that, obviously, get a higher high there than that, you know, this ABC doesn't matter. It's broken that, but I kind of see something like that happening for ICP and then starting our new 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of there. So that's it for ICP pretty much, but looks like we got Filecoin and Blur. Oh, Blur. Let me look at that really quick. Let's see. Oh, I do have that. Blur. Okay, so I did something on this chart a long time ago. Boy, that looks like it hit some kind of resistance here. Yeah, right there. Came up to the 382, got rejected. And then it looks like it's finding support. So let's see where that's coming from. Okay, so yeah, it got rejected again, the 382 there. And then trying to hold support at that 0.5, I guess. You'd want this to be a higher low. Let's go down to the lower time frames here because there's not really much going on for price action. It's creating that higher low right now. Maybe that was the resistance right there. Not really much to work off of, but yeah, held that 618 right there. And we're holding the 50 line on the 12 hour for Blur. Blur is holding the 50 line in the 618. Go to the 4 hour. This is where we're going to get the most. We are, yeah, see, this is what I want to see for Blur if it's going to do anything to the upside is get that trigger wave right here is what I'd like to see. And, oh, hey, Haroon. Yeah. Oh, I got your comment the other day. Yeah, I was going to make videos tonight. If you missed the beginning, which you did, I was going to make videos and I pulled it again. I made 4 videos without the microphone on, so I decided to go live today. I need to stop doing that. It's really annoying. So anyway, for this, I'd like to see a trigger wave come in right here. If you get that smaller wave, then that's going to be bullish in my opinion. And honestly, if this thing can create that higher low, I think that this thing's going to go higher without knowing anything about its, tokenomics or anything like that. Or I don't really know anything about the project actually. But I do see a new alt breaking above the $1.40 area fairly easily if this holds right here as a higher low to come up and get above there. But the things you got to be looking for is on the lower or on the retracement here is to get above that 618, obviously, and break above that. And once you get above that, I think it's more likely to finally get and create a new high here for this. But I kind of see maybe maybe that is happening. And if that's the case, yeah, we're pretty far away from a breakout time. So this could actually go and retest that lower support right there as well. So pay attention to that, because if this is what's happening and you're getting some kind of falling wedge, it seems like it's too early for me for a breakout. I would expect a breakout to happen right around there, which would also line up nicely with my wave here that I've got, the trigger wave, getting to the 0 line. So I don't know. It's really hard to tell with no price action. But this is actually, I would actually assume this is more likely happening, is a falling wedge here. So, and then possibly even coming down to retest. But if we can hold, if it holds that fib for the 618 right there and just goes sideways, it could go sideways or even go down to the 786 and then go sideways all the way to the breakout time right around there. So pretty much all I got for that. Let's go to Filecoin. Do I have that in here? I don't know. I've got it somewhere. No, that's perpetual. I don't want to look at that. Let's go here. Okay, so I'm big on Filecoin. I think that it's got a lot of potential. I'm actually investing in a lot of smaller projects similar to Filecoin, decentralized storage. Didn't reach the resistance line there. Let's see. Yeah, it's right at resistance right now. Like, I mean, you got your support over here, resistance right in here, tried to break through right there, and it hit it again, got rejected. And I'm curious what kind of retracement that was. Probably a 786. Yep, 786 retracement. It got above it, actually. That's the weekly. Let's go down to a lower time frame here. So we got the, says it disconnected again. Hold on a second. It's not receiving enough video. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it froze. Am I back? Okay, I think I'm back. I think it froze for a second. Let me know if I'm back. I must be having some problems with my internet tonight. That's the second time it's done that. It's not happened to me before. Anybody there? Okay. Yeah, yeah, I'm going to have to cut this. See, I'm already at 40 minutes now, and that's the second time that it's tried to kick me off. I just bought new equipment. It's coming in tomorrow. Hopefully boost up my internet here. So, yeah, that's never happened to me 2 times. Oh, so no, let me move the screen here. Can you guys see this thing moving, or is it just my voice now? Okay, I'm good. All right, so let's see. Sorry about that. It's ridiculous. Man, I record 4 videos with my microphone off, and now my internet's kicking me off. This is just a nightmare of a night for recording. Holy cow. So anyway, going up here, it's holding the 0.5. And it looks like it kind of wants to curl over. It's just going sideways right now. This is really difficult to tell where it's going, if it's just going to go sideways like that. I kind of feel like it wants to drop back down to this 200 EMA right here, which would also be the 618 right here, around that $6.10 level for Filecoin. Let's see. But oh man, this is, yeah, I'm going to say I think it's going to fall. I feel like it's going to just do one more drop, and there's actually plenty of support right around there as well. So if it did do that drop, I mean, you can see that the, I mean, I guess it's kind of support. I mean, it could come all the way back down. The real support is right here, around $5.75. But just looks like it wants to fall one more fib down to that 618, and then possibly continue on and find that rejection up here on the $11 area for Filecoin. Yeah, Yeah, I don't know that because right here, I just feel like this is going to create another wave. I feel like it's going to get a red dot somewhere in here. It's going to come up, create that other wave right there on the Cypher B, and then finally continue on to the upside. I don't really see any clear resistance or patterns or anything going on right here. That was kind of not very good. So, yeah, I still think it's going to come down a little bit further. Maybe at most come down and get a wick down to that 575, come back up, and the body will close above that 618, something like that. But this one's kind of hard to tell. There's not really anything clear going on for me there. Except for right in here. That's obvious resistance. Has not retested it yet. And it is holding that 55 EMA right there. You see that on the 12-hour. It wicked down to hold the 55 EMA. And it's just getting rejected off that 21 or 20 EMA right there. And again, I do think it's going to come back down. And I actually, looking at it right now, I think it's coming all the way back down to 575 at some point. So, I don't know. That's what I got for Filecoin. Filecoin, let's go to the weekly. Filecoin, if Filecoin can break above this resistance line right here, around $11, then you've got the 200 EMA for resistance on the weekly. But after, I mean, that's just blue skies up there, man. Once you get above that, that's the hardcore resistance is right in this area right here. You get above that, and I think that it's your new all-time high is going to be coming. But this has got clear resistance and a lot of it that it's hitting. So let's see. It also looks like it, did it form any kind of a lower time frame pattern down below? Not really. It looks like it's just, breaking above resistance, retesting it as support, breaking above the next resistance, and now it just needs to retest this one as support. So that's pretty much it for Filecoin. I am very bullish on any kind of decentralized storage for this next run. I'm buying into it, or I did buy into it. I'm not buying into it right now, but I already bought into all of it. And holy cow, what just happened with liquidity? Oh, man. Well, I did say that it was going to go up to create a new all-time high just like 5 minutes ago, I swear. I didn't think it was going to go that high. Wow. Look at that go. 62% right now. We just talked about this, like, it had to have been about 15 to 20 minutes ago, where I said it was going to come up and create a new all-time high. And now it's getting resistance at my favorite 1272. Looks like it might even get all the way up to that 1618 right now. So is this another Aptos where it just blasts above its previous all-time high? That's pretty wild. Let's see. Man. I hope you were into this, Clavins. This is the one you were asking about, right? Here we go. Yeah, you just missed it. That's too bad. Yeah, man, I was just looking at that, and it, didn't we just say a new all-time high was coming? A little bit of room to run, and that's too bad. All right, let's look at Ergo here really quick. Let me look it up. RGO. Am I doing this right? There we go. Gate.io. Oh, yeah, I've been charting this one, I guess, a while back. This one's not looking good. It kind of looks like what it did back here, where it tried to get that move to the upside, got rejected, came back down to retest. Now let's see. I did see something very similar to this, and I think it was Mina had the same kind of pattern where it was stuck right here, and then it just shot right up and retested that resistance right there. So that is possible. But, I mean, based off this weekly candle currently, it looks like it just kind of wants to create that other lower trigger wave there. Daily time frame. Just sideways action. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is looking, let me look at Mina really quick. See if that's the right chart, because I think Mina was the one that did, I was looking at it and it did the exact same thing. probably like passed it a couple times already. Here it is. Okay, so Mina was, I think it was this one. Yeah. It almost looked identical to this. When I was looking at this, it was down here, and then it just shot right up, and now it's above that resistance line right now. Mina is looking really good, actually. It's holding above that resistance line even during this downtrend right now. And I mean, right now, in my opinion, is a buy for Mina. I mean, you can see even on the daily that it looks like it, it's already reset the Cypher B and the RSI. And that kind of looks like what Ergo, to me, it's kind of what it looks like to me. It looks like it's forming the same type of thing, and it might have a breakout to the upside and retest that previous resistance up here. Hey, Nick. Hope your ankle's doing better. Anyway, so yeah, it kind of looks like to me, it looks like the same kind of thing, and it'll come back up and retest this resistance. Let me go back to Mina for the weekly and just see where the Cypher B and the RSI was before it had that big move. Just to kind of get, what the heck was it right there? Yeah, so once Mina crossed that 0 line on the weekly and crossed the 50 on the weekly is when it, that was the big move to get above it. But that's kind of what Ergo kind of looks like. I don't know. I don't follow this project at all. But also the RSI looks like it had attempted to get above the 50 line multiple times. Now it's just kind of resetting. And again, on the daily time frame, I could see another wave coming in here. And we are holding above the 40 line, which is good, and it's going sideways. So that's just telling me that there's a good chance. There's a chance, in my opinion, that it does get that move to the upside. It's just waiting for the breakout. And liquidity is getting rejected. Yep, there's my spot again, the 1272. That's why I always take profit at the 1272. You can see that it's getting rejected off that big pump right there. Plus the RSI for liquidity is already at 85. So yeah, I could see this thing kind of going sideways or coming back down to retest some support lines. But hopefully there's not really much to say about Ergo. Sorry. I mean, it just looks like it's going to go up. To me, it's going sideways right now. Oh, let's see what fib line it's holding, I guess. So it's still above the 382, which is good, but let's see what fib line it's getting rejected off of, I guess would be the more important thing. Yeah, so it's getting rejected off the 382 as well. So that's not a great thing either. I would have actually liked to see, so really, if this thing breaks down below that 236, I don't think, and closes a candle beneath that 236, I don't think that's a good sign. Otherwise, I do think it is going to come back up, and it'll get rejected probably off that 0.5, maybe come up to the 618, and then do just what Mina did and hold support up there, something like that. So 141. 41. Yeah, I mean, it might. There's literally no support right here. So if you miss that move, there's a very good chance it's coming back down. To the 618, possibly. So, yeah, I mean, this thing had a blast off. I mean, yeah, there's a good chance this thing's coming back down to maybe even 122. Yeah, it's way too high on everything right now. And the volume is good, but you can see that the volume isn't even as high as it was back here during these moves. So, I mean, unless it can close the candle above that 1272, I think there's a strong chance it comes back down at some point to this 618 around 125, something like that. So, but let's see. I think I missed, I was too busy dealing with my internet crashing during this stream. Let's see if yeah, it even says that my bit rate is low right now. See what I missed in the comments. Sorry, I'm just a little bit, in case anybody missed it, Nick, you missed it. I did another 4 videos without my mic on, so I decided to go live. Yeah, so stupid. And then my live stream has already crashed twice during the stream. Or frozen at least. So this has not been a great video night for me. Let's see, Ergo's, Haroon, I hope that that answered a little bit for Ergo. I'm not really, until it breaks above that resistance, you know, it's not too great. But let's see, monthly candle, BTC close. Yeah, the monthly candle. I was looking at BTC earlier, so let's go back to that really quick. I just want to see where, I haven't looked at it. Let's see where we're at. So, and actually, let's go to the monthly. I mean, it's not. Oh yeah, this is what, so one thing about the monthly is, and I haven't looked at the monthly in a long time, is the green dot here on the Cypher B on the monthly. So we're also pushing up close to the 50 on the RSI. We've got the green dot on the Cypher B on the monthly, and it's in a lower. It's not at the zero line or anything. You can see that last time we had something similar to that. Was all the way back here, and you know, I mean, you can see what happened after that. And then right here, you know, we had one more month of a big move to the upside, which then broke us to that 786 fib right here on Bitcoin. But then we had the big crash. Now, I don't know what led up to all this. I know this is the C19 crash right here. But we did get rejected there. But either way, it was still higher low. You know, and if C19 didn't happen, I would assume that this would have just went sideways and then continued on to the upside. So yeah, green dot here. Again, like I said, the 618, possibly a wick to the 786 is my price target for this year for Bitcoin. So, and if you look at the monthly, it looks like, you know, every time we had that green dot on the monthly, now I'm not like a bit boy where, you know, long everything on a green dot, but, you know, you can tell 3 times in the history of Bitcoin, every time you get that green dot, the next month is pretty bullish, if not further. Let's see. Yeah, I can check out Ape. I got some money in Ape. I haven't even looked at it in a while, so let's take a look. Ooh, hold on. Before I get to Ape, I want to see it. I'm pretty heavily invested in IMX. So let's see, getting hit right at the resistance here on IMX. Hopefully it can break through that because IMX has had a massive move this year. Here's Ape. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's just testing this. I mean, previous resistance. Let's put a line there. So you can see the resistance here, resistance, support, support. But it's also forming some bearish moves here. I mean, or you can say it's forming that. So, I mean, me personally, I think this is going to go higher. It looks like it's probably just going to bounce around in here and then get a breakout to the upside. I mean, this is what I would think would happen and get right there at that next resistance line. Right there around the $7.60 something cent area would be my guess for ApeCoin. I mean, the RSI looks fantastic. The Cypher B looks great. I'm on the daily time frame. Let's go down to the 12-hour. Everything looks good on the 12-hour for continuation. We're still holding that 200 EMA on the 12-hour for now anyways. Looks like it might drop a little further, but that could just be a wick. And then the 4-hour, yeah, everything looks like it just wants to bounce around in here. It kind of looks like it's forming a higher low, hopefully. So possibly come back down to retest that 786 and then continue on would be my hope. So let's see. Yeah, I'll go do, so I did Ravencoin was the first one I looked at on this stream. Let's see. We'll go back to that really quick. Oh, first off, let's look at Raven BTC, see what's going on. So Raven BTC got rejected, which is too bad. We are right at breakout point. Raven BTC hit the 50 on the RSI, got rejected. coming up to the 0 line on the Cypher B here. I mean, I just think that Raven's going to explode here pretty soon. I don't know. I just feel like it's going to have a big move. RSI. Hold on. Let me take a drink really quick. Okay. So the RSI looks great for Raven on the weekly, holding above the 50 still. We broke above the 0 line. And if you got in right here, I should have you trade for me. I got in. I rebought right in this area right here. So around the 2.3, 2.4. But man, if you got in at that 0.18, wow, that's a pretty good move, Haroon. Good job. So yeah, I was buying right in this area, and it looks. Oh, let me zoom in here. So what I talked about earlier was this possible ABC correction, looking like it's. And I had the B up here, but like I said in the tweet, if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. I do more updates on there if I'm not posting videos. But the B possibly right there, and then I do expect, and it's actually falling right now. I do expect us to come down at least to the C or to the 786 right here, if not retesting this 200 EMA. Now, I really don't want it to come down to retest the low here on the support, because that just means that the bears still have momentum to the downside. They can get us all the way down, get Ravencoin all the way down to retest that support, and I don't really want to see that. I'd prefer them not to lose their momentum, find support at the 786, and then get the massive breakout, which I'm waiting for. And we're getting really close to my breakout target time of beginning of April. So we've got basically just over a month, just barely over a month to go for Ravencoin before I've put this line has been here for weeks, if not months. I put this line here a long time ago. That's my breakout target time frame. No, it doesn't have to happen like that, but it's still lining up just fine to get there. We're getting our higher low here, hopefully, and then continue on retesting. I think that once we break out of this wedge here, or this broadening wedge, the next target is to the blue line. So then if we can get that breakout and get the retest right around this area. So this next month is going to be very interesting for Ravencoin, I think. We have 1 month to break out of this and finally just poke our head above this blue line here and be fantastic above that 5 cent area. And then we can continue on. Now, this isn't going to go up in a straight line from my price target. It's going to be drawn out for quite a while, but the hardest part is getting above that blue line right there. And so we'll just have to see if my breakout time target is actually going to play out. But that's pretty much it for Ravencoin. There's not really much else going on. We're just kind of still staying in this broadening wedge here. And I'm hoping that this ABC right here will play out. Technically, the C should be further down. Let's actually see where it probably should be. We'll do well, if that's the bottom there, yeah, this is, technically it should actually come down to the 0.25 area if it is an ABC. So, just grab this. Could be an ABC on a lower time frame. And even then, it still would technically should come down to the 0.25, and that's lower than our support line here. So if it does do that, I really hope it's just a really quick wick down and just taps it, comes back up, and then gets massive wick to the bottom, because that would not be good in my opinion if we came back down to there. Although, previously I have stated that this looks very similar to what happened over here, where we came up, down, up, sideways, down, retested this previous area as support, and then shot up. And again, we came up, down, up, sideways. And if we did get that C wave to come in to that area, that would again look exactly like this right here. And the next move after that would be the breakout to the upside, something like that. So that was one of my theories in the past. It could still play out, but I'm really hoping that this broadening wedge is actually the one that's going to play out. So we'll just have to wait and see. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, 110% spot is pretty solid for just a few months. If you bought that bottom, and then even where it's at right now, I mean, I guess now you're at 70% roughly. But yeah, at the peak up there it was 110. And I mean, again, I bought a lot of Raven coin right in this area. After we flipped this resistance right here, came back down, is when I was buying. And again, I think Raven coin's going to $1 in the next cycle. So, I mean, there's so many people in Raven coin that have so many coins. They're going to be so rich if this comes true. Yeah, that would be good, Nick. So is mining? I'm not big into mining. Is mining losing money right now compared to your like electric or how that works? I don't know how that works. My buddy was a miner. That's how I got into Ravencoin. Really, is because he was mining it. Started looking into Ravencoin after he was mining it. I just don't know anything about mining. I'm gonna look at Litecoin really quick because I want to see what's going on here. Yeah, so Litecoin is still getting rejected off the 200, but it's looking good actually. I mean, honestly, Litecoin has not fallen the way I thought it would. No, we did just get the green or the red dot here on the weekly. And again, the RSI didn't get where I wanted it to go, which is in the over sold area. So this could have a correction down to the $77 area to find support. I could totally see that happening. Let's go down to a lower time frame. Unless my Elliott wave idea plays out, something like this. Or this could just be an ABC starting, and we do get back down to that level. So this could just be like a, yeah, right around that $77 area, some kind of an ABC like that, and then we move, something like that. But the halving's coming here pretty soon. So I feel like there's got to be some kind of, with the halving coming, I feel like there's got to be some kind of a move coming soon. I mean, the halving's right here. So there's still plenty of time to make that move up here before the halving comes, and then it falls from there. Because, I mean, in the history of the halving, you know, we get that big move, and then it falls. And again, over here, we got a big move, and then it fell. So we still haven't had that really big move, and there's still plenty of time to go for us to get either above this white line, one of these white lines, just get us up to, you know, maybe $150 or 150 or something like that, and then have that fall. But that's what I'm waiting for Litecoin, something like that. What's the graph doing? Is the graph flagging right now? Is that what we're doing? Had the big move up. Excuse me. Man, let's see. Kind of looks like trying to break above that resistance there. But it also looks kind of, yeah, everything's getting reset. It's holding above the 50 on the daily time frame. 12-hour time frame. Yeah, right now it's attempting to break above this resistance right here. Trying to anyways. And the Cypher B looks like it wants to go that direction too. So, I mean, the graph could be making its next move here shortly. Although this is kind of looking like a bearish pattern, really. Something like that. So, I mean, I could see this thing coming back down. Retesting that 200 EMA, maybe even a little further down. Let's see what the daily is. 4 hour. Yeah, it's finding support on that Found support on the 200 on the 4-hour. Oh, and on the 4-hour, actually, so it broke above, and now it's in the retest for the graph. So actually, right now, it'd be a good time to be looking at a long right now. Let's see if the... came down and tested the 382, found support, broke out above, retesting the resistance. Boy, put your stop loss, maybe if you want to be conservative, right around the 1530. If you want to put it down below the 618, around the 1490. Might be a decent move. Let's see. Okay, let's see what I missed here. 25 3070 Ti's for mining. I was looking at those. I hope you guys got a good deal on those, because when I was looking, when everybody else was trying to buy them, because my buddy was trying to get me into mining Raven coin, and it was just like ridiculous prices for those at the time I was looking. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like you guys are both using the 3070 Ti's. And Haroon, you got it going on. You invested in Ravencoin right at the bottom. You got 25 3070 Ti's you're mining with a solar panel, so you're not paying for any electricity. Well, let's see. If you did 25,000 at that bottom, it's too high. Let's see, it's this one. So, I mean, if you're looking for $500,000, 25,000 from right here. I'm pretty sure we're getting to the 45 cent at least. So that's a 2,300% move. I mean, if you did the math on that, I don't know what that would bring you. 2,000, that's a 10. That's a 20x. Yeah, I mean, that'd probably get you there. Just trying to read through these comments. Sounds like you guys are talking about solar panels. Let's see. Any other coins anybody else want me to look at? Otherwise, I'm going to start closing this down, I think. If you haven't liked the video yet, please do. I know it's crashed on us twice, and yeah, but I'd appreciate the likes. So it hasn't been the best night for videos for me. Let's see. $980. I don't know what that is. Yeah, 300 is what they were supposed to be. 300, and then when I was looking, they were $1,200. And so I figured, man, why am I going to buy them at $1,200 when they were supposed to be around $300? Let's see. Was that the what was I looking at? The 90s, not the 70s. I was looking at the 90s. XRP, Nick. You think it's going to go to $10, $11? Let's see. Here's my XRP chart. This was the first coin I got into. I sold everything right over here. Since once the SEC came out, said they were suing Ripple, I sold everything. And it's not because I'm not like thinking XRP is not going to go somewhere. I do think XRP is going to get to $10, $11. But it's not going to happen until the SEC lawsuit's over. Oh, you think it's going to go to 130, 160? Boy, I don't know, man. I got a $10 price target for it. I don't know about, I hope it does. But I got a little bit of XRP left. I bought some more during this, basically at the bottom here, around that 35 cent level. But it is actually in a bearish pattern right now on the weekly. You got lower highs coming in. You got this wedge coming in here, which, if it did break down, that brings us probably down Probably down to retest the lows down here. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Brad Garlinghouse came out and said that he thinks that the lawsuit will be finished by June, I think is what he said. No, I agree that if the SEC lawsuit is in favor of Ripple, this is gonna blast off. I don't think it's gonna. I mean, I hope it does for you. My personal opinion is max $14 or $15 maximum. But if it goes past that, and you make all that, and everybody that's in XRP makes all that money, I'm happy for them. It's not my largest holding anymore. It was my largest holding at one point. So, yeah, I've heard that too. Replacing Swift. I just don't think that that's. I personally don't think that that's going to happen. But again, I hope it does for everybody that's holding XRP. Yeah, I'll look at ETC. Wrong chart here. Let's find the other one. So, boy, I have not looked at this in a while. Let me just kind of play around here. Again, I'm not a huge trendline person, but this is more of a channel. We did get the higher low. ETC got the higher low here. Basically held the 786, and now you can see that it's getting squeezed right now between the 200 weekly and the 618 right here. So once it breaks out from this, now hopefully it breaks to the upside, because I think that'll be a big push. It'll bring it right back up to the resistance line up here around $31, $32. If it does break up that way. Now let's do fib from here to here. And yeah, so it's in between the 382 right now on the weekly. It does look like it wants to come down a little bit further, possibly coming back down to that 618, creating another higher low. But I would like to look at the other side of the coin here as well. And yeah, so we're getting major resistance. ETC's getting major resistance here at the 200 weekly and the 382 fib. So really what you want to, what it needs to find here is a higher low. And so if it doesn't find that higher low, this is just going to continue to drop. So basically I'd be having in mind, if I'm paying more close attention to this, which I'm not, I'd have my fib here. Hopefully this thing can blast up above. Otherwise I'd be looking at support around the $18 area. And the only way this thing's going to fall is if Bitcoin falls even further, but we already looked at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin does look like it wants to fall a little bit further, but I don't know how much further. I just don't think it's going to fall too much further. I think Bitcoin's going to have a breakout here soon. So if Bitcoin gets a breakout, ETC gets a breakout. Otherwise, I mean, if Bitcoin does get that shorter retracement down in the short term, I could see ETC coming and holding this 618 right here around the $18 area. But I kind of feel like it does want to fall just a little bit further. And so I'd be looking at that 618. Yeah, and actually I've got, I think that ETC is going to go high. I think it's going to, I've got my line still here. I think first price target for ETC for me, if it gets the same kind of move that it had over here, is up to $380. That would be my price target for ETC. That was my price target in the past. I'd have to relook at it again just to see. But I previously had that price target, and then obviously my max price target was around 962. Now I'd have to look at the tokenomics and everything again. I put this out here. This is very old. Something I was looking at just a long time ago. But I mean, we did create that higher low right here, and so that is a good sign. Now we just need to create another higher low and then get a breakout above the red line here for ETC. Let's see. Loom and IMX. I just looked at IMX, but I'll look at it again because I'm heavily invested in this. Right now, the thing here is it needs to break above this resistance again. So we had it as support. IMX found support, kind of found support, and now it's underneath it. So we did get a lot of resets here. So the RSI did reset to the 50, and it reset to the 0 on the Cypher B here. So continuation could be likely here. We are also getting a little bit of, I mean, the volume is decreasing, so a move could be coming. I don't really see if there's any kind of pattern going on over here. Yeah, first things first, just to break above this resistance line right here. We do have that green dot on the 12-hour right there, and it held support above the 40 line on the RSI on the 12-hour, and we're getting volume coming in. So this could be a move where it actually gets us back up. The thing I'd be looking at is, for the shorter term, looking at the retracement levels. Right now, getting rejected off the 382. Pay attention to the 618 retracement and then the 786. But obviously, it's right at massive resistance right now. It came all the way up to the 618, got rejected heavily on a big wick, and then it's just going to try and get its way up there. And it's got plenty of room to run on the RSI here. I've seen a couple of coins already in the overbought area on the weekly time frame for the RSI. IMX is such a good project, and I think that it's definitely going to get back up above this area on the RSI sometime in this year or next year. And I am betting on it because I put a lot of money into this one. And at minimum for this move this year, I do think we are getting to $1.82, 83-ish minimum move for 2023. So we'll just have to wait and see. And right now you can see that it's getting resistance, heavy resistance at the 0.5. So it tried to get above that, wicked back down, and heavy resistance at the 0.5 fib. So shorter term, possibly moving up. But my minimum price target is that $1.80 something up there. Let's see. Oh, Loom. I don't know anything about that one either. Let's look at that one. All right. See, I'm at an hour and 18 minutes. I'm going to do a little bit longer here. Is this the right chart? It's not really much price action on this one. If there's a better, let me see if there's a better chart really quick. Let's try Coinbase. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's go to the weekly. Is it a little bit better? Yeah, just a little bit. So weekly time frame broke above the 50 and held support, and now it's moving up. The 0 broke above on the Cypher B here. We're obviously getting rejected off the 55 EMA, which is the red line right here for Loom. Volume is increasing a little bit. Last week had some nice volume. I mean, you're right at this Loom is right at the resistance right here. But I mean, if this is a newer coin, I don't know anything about this coin. If this is when it started, which is back in just 2021 here, this has got a lot of room to run. And I think that this one right here, I mean, I don't know anything about the project, but most coins that started in 2021, I think are going to be the big winners coming in this next bull run here. So once it breaks above this resistance, I think there's going to be a decent move coming for Loom. And speaking of decent moves, let's just go back and check out what LQTY is doing here. Still stuck there. Yeah, I think it's this liquidity is finding that resistance there. This thing is, I mean, I still think it's coming back down to the 618, if not even down to the, $1.10 area to retest some support there for the liquidity. But yeah, Loom, I mean, once it breaks that, I think it's going to have a decent move. Something like this. See how once it broke right there, it had a big move, then it just had a big rejection. So if it can maintain that big move above, create another higher high right here, and then come down and get some new support, I don't know, maybe right here, that could be support right there. Now, if we did a fib from the top, I would actually, yeah, I would find support maybe, yeah, the 0.5 is where it found support right here. You can see right here is where it hit that, then got rejected. I'd say the next one would probably come up, the body would probably come up to at least the 618 on the next big move for Loom to the upside. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know anything about mining. I wanted to get into it, but when I was looking into it is when everything was so expensive that I just said forget it. And then where I live, electricity is not very cheap here, and I don't really. If I move to more remote, rural location, which is what I want to do, then I'd probably set up some solar panels. And then if I can get solar panels set up like you have, that's when I would get into mining. If I'm running off the grid, then probably not. I want to get some, if I move out to the rural area, which is what I want to get some solar panels and a Tesla Powerwall. And then I'd probably do mining through that. And actually, I own my own business, so I would actually probably use my business money to buy all the equipment and have it be a business expense and have it create, income for the business that way is what I would probably do. So right now, I just do direct investment. And so far, I've been getting pretty good buys. It looks like, Haroon, you actually have been, from whatever you tell me, you seem to be getting better buys than me. I got in at, Raven at that 23-24 cent, and you got in at the 18, or not 23-24 cent, but the, you know what I'm talking about. You got in down at the 018 when I was getting in at the 0234 area. So you're getting better buys than I am. So, so far, I would say direct investment for you seems to be working out. Anyway, because this is Brandon's coin. Brandon, he finally got his breakout and the retest. And so, yeah, if he was in here tonight, well, Brandon, if you watch this later, I could see this thing coming up to the $3 area as long as the coin. I mean, I don't know anything about EOS and if they're actually doing anything with the project, but the price action is saying, 200 EMA, probably actually $2.50 would be what I was looking at, and that's maybe going to come down to the 200 EMA will come down that way. But yeah, it doesn't look like Brandon's in here for this. That's his coin. Let's see. Anybody into Algorand or HBAR? HBAR, I've been hearing that they're like, getting into bed with all the WEF and all that other stuff. But they actually, I mean, HBAR broke from support, now coming back down to the 236. Boy, and sure hope that a red dot doesn't form over here on the Cypher B on the weekly. That would be pretty disastrous for this move. If you're into HBAR, it looks like it's coming back down for some kind of a retracement. Yeah, and right now it's falling below the 200, trying to anyways. HBAR is not looking good for a continuation. I actually own some HBAR. Oops. Yeah, this thing looks like it's going to be holding around that 0687 area for maybe a little while, maybe even fall back down. We'll see. LCX. What is LCX? Why does that sound familiar? Honestly, a lot of these coins that are in bed with them, they're probably going to do pretty well. But I just feel dirty investing in these things. Boy, this one looks bearish too, honestly. I mean, unless it's doing that, that could be a double top. Maybe you could say that this is a triangle pattern. I mean, you'd have to come back up and retest that top area right there. Otherwise, yeah, coming back down to that 200 EMA most likely on the daily time frame. But let's see. I think what do we got here? Hour and 26 minutes. Already had two 2 times my stream has crashed on us. So, all right, real quick, you got anything else? Put it in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to call it, and we'll do this another time. But yeah, again, if anybody else didn't hear, I did 4 videos with my microphone off again because I'm an idiot, and that's why we went live tonight. And hopefully this helped, even though this has been a bad recording night for me. So let's see, what's Matic up to? Yeah, let's take a look at MDT. That's right. Real quick, Matic went a little bit further for my 2. I feel like Matic could be gearing up, or maybe it's in an ABC. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at that further. Let's go down to the MDT. We've been looking at that for the last few live streams. And remember, I think I was telling you that, be careful around this area because it just looked like everything was, right around in here, it was too hot, too high. And so it's doing pretty good. So you can see that it's holding this support line right there. And actually, even on the lower time frame, I bet you it's forming some kind of a triangle pattern. That's what it looks like. I don't like to do bodies, but if you do the body candles here, or bodies of the candles, this thing could really have a breakout. Pay attention. Liquidity just went up 64% during this live stream. So, this one could be next, honestly. Or unless it's doing something like this, which then, we still have a little ways to go. But, yeah, this one's still looking pretty strong. Look at how strong this RSI is on the 12-hour. Let's go to the daily. On the daily, it's just going side, and it's holding the 56 area like perfectly. And it's just continuing to go up while it's going sideways. This thing's looking super bullish to me. And it's just slowly waiting for these EMAs to catch up is what it's doing, because you can't, once you get the breakout, the EMAs have got to catch up. And actually, more likely, it kind of seems like this might be playing out because on the daily time frame. And so the next target for this guy, if it does break to the upside, I'd conservatively say, you're looking at about 12 cents, that's a 100% move, isn't it? Yeah, looking at a 100% move next for this. Boy, I might have to buy some of this now that I'm looking at this. Yeah, looking pretty solid to me. Oh, don't tell me I'm crashing again. I can't wait. I got new stuff coming in tomorrow. I'm going to set it up, and hopefully my internet's going to be stronger. I've never had an issue with this yet, with any of our live streams. This is the first time that I've had issues where my trading view just crashes on me, and then the stream froze on us. Let's see. Yeah, no, we're super early, Haroon. We are so early to crypto. Actually, we're late, honestly. We're late because if we would, right now we're late. If you got in 2020, I think that was probably the best time was obviously to get in, a lot earlier. But 2020 was when most people in the world started to actually pay attention to what crypto really was all about. And so 2020 was a great time to get in. Before that, it was really super speculative. And it still is, but once the rest of the world figures this out, and as long as the IMF and the WEF and all those other 3-letter, losers don't mess crypto up, which they really can't because it's so decentralized, they can really affect the price, that's for sure. But we are so early that once the mainstream, because there's only a couple people I know that know anything about crypto, and what they know is Coinbase. And so, they don't know how to have their own wallet. They don't know any of that stuff. They just know, oh, I heard about Coinbase, and and then I help them buy a couple of coins on Coinbase, and that's all they know. And most of them are even scared to put any more money into it. They're still buying stocks, and they're still buying, gold, which I think gold is still a good investment. I don't know much about precious metals, but I do think that gold is always, it's been a good investment forever. So, you can't really go wrong there. But they're still afraid to put money in. I said, did you buy any more crypto? No, I didn't. And they just forget about it. And then they'll let it sit there, and whatever they bought, their $50 worth that they bought in 10, 20 years, they're going to go back to it without even realizing it. And they're going to be, have a few thousand, couple $100,000 in there. And then they buy high, exactly. And so, yeah, so again, like, let me go to Bitcoin here. In my videos, I've been talking about buying, you know, when Bitcoin was down around the 17 to $18,000 area. In all my videos, I said we're bottoming out. We're bottoming out. I'm buying crypto. And so I was buying all down here while everybody else was so afraid to buy anything. And obviously it's playing out for me. I mean, even this year, my portfolio is looking pretty good this year, and we haven't even had a run yet. So, I mean, if you guys were here in 2021 when we had the big run, you know what that's like. We're not even there yet. We're in my opinion, if you look at the chart, the what is that? The stock trader chart, or so we're in the disbelief phase right now, is my opinion for the move. So we had the big crash. Everybody thought everything was dead, was dying. And right now we're in, is this really a run? The psychology of a trader chart. If you guys haven't looked at that, look it up. Right now, I believe we're in the disbelief phase. Everybody thinks, no, this can't be the run that we're waiting for. It's going to crash down to $10,000. And I just don't think that's going to happen. We're above the 200 EMA on the daily. We're forming higher highs and higher lows. We have got all the indicators, other than this bearish divergence right here on the daily, indicators pointing that, the direction is up. And so that's what I think is going to happen. Unfortunately, we're in this big crash right now, but I've been calling this crash for a little while now, saying that everything was overheated. I mean, look at, Bitcoin on the daily came all the way up to 88.90 here on the RSI. And then, when I was following Optimism, this thing came up and hit 90. So there had to have been a retracement. And actually, Optimism, the RSI retraced, everything retraced, but the price is still up high. It's still up here. Aptos had its big move, and then it came down, and these are just some, oops, I think I hit my mic. These are just some random lines here, but this looks like it actually might come. I've been waiting for Optimism to come back down to $10, and I'm going to be probably buying into Aptos, come back down to $10 here, because I think that I think it's probably going to hold this 382, at least I'm hoping it is, which is also previous all-time high. Hold that 382 as support, which is bullish on the Fibonacci's, and then continue on to the upside. And actually, I think that this is wave one of an extremely massive move for Aptos. I think Aptos wave 3 is next, and my price target is right up here at $450 for Aptos. I haven't done a video on that yet, so you guys are getting it early. But Aptos, I think that this is what's going to play out for Aptos. And actually, we're in an ABC correction right now for Aptos, so let's see where we're at with this ABC correction. From the top up here, here's your A, here's your B. Now, I see here, I think the C is coming in at that 382. So this is kind of my next play for Aptos, and you can see that on the daily, where the Cypher B is, where the RSI is. The RSI is at the 40 level. Cypher B looks like it wants to curl over. We could get a quick flash down to this 382, which is going to retest the $10 area. And then that's your ABC correction finishing there. And then we get our next big move, which is going to be the wave 3, which inside the wave 3, you'll also get your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. Something like that. And then you get your ABC correction again. And then the final one will come in, probably, in my opinion, around $450. So, I mean, this is my big play for Aptos right here. And I actually should probably do a video on this, because this is what I think is going to happen. So maybe I'll do one of those when I can remember to turn my microphone on. Okay, wait a minute. Listening to my comments and videos from remote area, Hunza Gilgat? Where is that? Hold on. I'm gonna Google that. on. Oh, are you in Pakistan? I feel like you told me that before. You know, that's pretty cool that out in the remote areas out there. So let me see, I got some pictures here. I'm looking it up on my computer. Looks beautiful. Looking at the river right now, the Hunza River. Watching my videos. Appreciate all of you guys always watching. I'm going to cut it, though. I'm going to cut it short here. I guess not short. I'm actually an hour longer than I wanted to be. So appreciate everybody stopping by with the chat, the comments, the likes, everything, watching my videos. I haven't made a video in a little while because I've been very busy this weekend. And my kids, again, are sick. Every single time I get on here, I say my kids are sick because they just nonstop. We got some kind of a... Every time they go to school, they bring something back. And so I got to take care of them. But appreciate all you guys coming on. And I'll try and do more videos. I'm definitely going to do an Aptos video because I really like what I put out here. I think this is going to play out. Yeah, appreciate it. Again, yeah, if you like my videos, please hit a like. Share them with your friends. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.